The Origins of Life, Chi Creation, Part 20. So, as we were left off last time with butterflies, we've got the sun setting over the ocean, as it's expressing its communication between the two. You know, that ever important aspect, which is kind of a continued image throughout the series and stuff, or displayed on the animals and stuff, like all the markings and patterns and all these kind of things. It's always representing this communication. So when the sun sets, it's like the ocean's longing for it to come back, like missing its warmth and all these kind of things and stuff. Let's have a blue. Another butterfly. As you can see, like where the wave shape is, how it curls up like that, and how it comes over this way. So you're seeing like half of, because we've got the horizon, haven't we? Which kind of like, we've got the middle part there, but we've also got a centre line through middle of us, through a centre, like vertically. So like we've got one wave, and that'd repeat on the other side for the reflection in that kind of way. And also, I don't know, for another reason why I brought it up. So I brought it up before about like these shapes and stuff kind of thing. There's another one similar. Oh, another thing about like the lines. So when we get like the star patterns, the star lines, when we go with the time lapse and stuff, we're kind of following that pattern. So like matching up, like, you know what I mean, we can find it in the ocean, and then we can find it in the sky and stuff like. So what matches up in physical and what matches up in spiritual. So in that kind of sense, like the sky, that's our light body, you know what I mean? Our light body, all of us. So that's what it kind of looks like, it, you know what I mean? It's different underneath, but it only meets its horizon line anyway, in that kind of sense. I call it, looks like a photograph underneath. I can't really tell what's going on there, like, in that kind of sense. It looks aerial, like you're above, you know what I mean? And they're like trees maybe, and that's like a, I don't know whether that matches up. It's just like, you know, what I'm seeing there for a second and stuff. So we were talking about sand, weren't we? So you get black beaches, so like this. You get like black sand and stuff, like that kind of thing. So some people got like that proper, really dark skin and stuff kind of thing, like where it, you know, it really does look like black and stuff kind of thing, compared to like brown and all these kind of things. And black beaches exist; they're quite common, you know what I mean. So here in Iceland, you can get your black beaches. That one doesn't zoom in, but you can see. It's either Iceland or Scotland. Yeah, one thing I have questioned about it is like you know, I could easily associate the black beaches to do with like after the fire, you know what I mean, and all the ash and all that kind of stuff, and that relating to it in that kind of way and stuff like. Or it's purely because of what the tree were made out of. Like a pine tree would more likely to give you sandstone, which looks kind of that yellowy sand colour, But you could easily get trees which give like a darker wood, you know what I mean? Like redwood is quite red, isn't it, and stuff kind of thing. Hence the name. But you get like onyx crystals and smoky quartz, all these kind of things and stuff. And I think that's basically what the beach is made out of, isn't it? So you got all your finger lines, all your fins for fish, all that kind of thing. It was quite a good picture for it, so I had to grab it. You see all sparkling, reflecting at crystals on the beach. This is more of a tropical country, so you got like Canary Islands. I can't remember. Quite a few tropical countries and stuff kind of thing. Like there were like a top 24 black beaches in tropical countries to visit and all these kind of things and stuff. So they're not that unknown, or they're quite well known. So it's kind of it's more common really. It's kind of like it makes sense that that we got that blend of colour, being from the dark to the light and stuff. And they're the most common colours for beaches. So, you know what I mean? That's why we haven't got multicoloured humans in that kind of sense and stuff like, like bright colours and stuff kind of thing. Whereas like insects, which do have all those like neon colours and stuff like that kind of thing, and they're getting that from ocean. It's like that birefringence, of that double refraction, which kind of happens through ice and all these kind of things. Ice, it takes that form, doesn't it? And like water can't hold its form. It can be there for a moment. You can take a photograph of it in that form, but for it to freeze is for it to be in that form, in that, held in that shape. So that when it grows as a plant, it's expressing whatever it's remembered and stuff like. And so yeah, another example of like the limbs, and say how like the water when it's drawn back, it's created these rivers. It's like the ocean, a bit like the tree. You see how it comes up to that edge. So like that's the tree, but it's like laid down, and then these are all the branches which come off. It's like limbs. I mentioned like humans on a previous series and stuff like that, like arms and fingers and all these kind of things. But when you consider it to like the tree, which also has limbs, and it kind of fits. Again, fins, leaves, petals. A brown beach. It's considered a black beach, but it were under one of those lists and stuff kind of thing. And but just that contrast of colours and stuff kind of thing. Florida. White beaches. Look like snow or whatever and stuff. I think that one's Australia. Got double wave. A good example of that one. Your water's crashing over the previous wave and stuff. And so you've got like your seashells which have the two holes. So you've got like the nose and the mouth, or whichever other version that'd be and stuff like. In the tunnel, all the water crashes, and then it explodes like a mushroom cloud. So it explodes and makes these shapes, which again, like trees. So when we compare that to his lungs, we know that his lungs look like trees in that kind of sense and stuff. And then for it to be in here, and that's kind of like where all the air gets trapped and all that kind of stuff, and it puts it into the ocean. Just like how your lungs work, really. We breathe in, and then it goes into the lung area, and then that absorbs it into his blood and stuff, kind of thing. And so, again, like the black sand, so our leaf kind of is representing that. There's another one. It's like got a yellow, so you can see where it's thinning. You know what I mean? And then it becomes dry sand in that kind of way. And this is like a disease. So if you consider like the ocean, when you got like rocks on the beach and stuff like that kind of thing, so how it kind of represents that in a way. It kind of hinders the ocean in a sense, doesn't it? I mean, I don't think it minds as such, but it kind of re-expresses the experience in this way and stuff like that. So if it does get a disease or this specific disease or whatever and stuff, and that's kind of related to it in a way. Like it's underwater. See where it's drier around, so like the more yellow area. So there's like more sand built up a little bit. The water's kind of level in a sense and stuff. Oh, it's turned off again. Oh, we're alright. Oops. Yeah, so anyway, I want to talk about the using the information in two ways. So as we spoke about, like the tooth of a wave, how that comes out, it's only like using one tooth on it. So like the waves coming this way, you can see the cupping action, roll of it and stuff like that. But then like on the side view, we can see the teeth there. So this would be the front of a wave going that way, you know what I mean? So it's got that down action, and then like, the reflection obviously is going to come back up in that kind of sense and stuff like, well, that's fixed. It's only this which comes down. So there is that in that kind of sense as well. So in the sense of its pincer comes out, doesn't it, to grab the food and stuff like that kind of thing, and then it pulls it back into its mouth and stuff like. So like the forward movement to catch, and then dragging back. So in the same sense of like how the ocean works, the wave comes out, pincers it, and then washes things back into the body of the ocean, and that which would be the crab's mouth and its stomach and so on. So while the waves, which are its arms, are coming forwards and backwards, its legs walk left and right, sideways. And on that previous episode, when we were talking about the limbs of the ocean, reaching in and being the rivers or whatever and stuff like that, it's like that's the limb, right? Whilst the tide is going this way and that way. So despite the direction of the waves coming into the land, it's considered that direction of the tides, because it depends where you are. If the tides are going this way and that way against the landscape here, then that's what it is. But you still get waves on shore, so and that's what crabs have done. You know what I mean? It's like the body of the ocean is moving left and right, whilst you've got those waves there. This one looks a bit like gorilla-like, with colour and stuff like, and almost like fur or whatever that is. But I wanted to mention like the roll of a wave there. It's a roll of a wave which has come out of the depression area. So you can see how the wave rolls and cups like that kind of thing. So for where its eyes go in that kind of sense, or pop out either. Um, so like the water that gets forced out, it's coming out in that kind of sense as well. Above like a droplet of water, you know what I mean? So um, it's different from the tunnel, the depth of the tunnel and stuff like that kind of thing. I'll come back to that in a second. But you get another one here. See like the cupping at wave. So you get that black line at side of a bird's head. Quite often we've got that one stripe kind of going across, and that's that same thing, but it's a different angle. You know what I mean? Because you're looking from front, whether they've got it on the side, haven't they? See here for its legs and stuff like that as well. And each one representing a roll-up wave, and then you can extrapolate that information off of your fingers and tree limbs and all these kind of things and stuff, which we have kind of discussed and stuff like. But so size of them in that kind of sense. So yeah, you can see like the rib shape as well. So like a rib cage, how that information is like extrapolated and reused in a sense. And then we look at that. So you can see same pattern. It's got a lot more legs on this one, but it's using that same pattern anyway. So we're talking about it's got a chakra here and there's a chakra there, so it's like the sun and the roll of a wave is there, and each one of these is the roll of a wave coming from that point again. So, and then the same for the top because that's the reflection, so you got the same going off there. So you got a chakra there and a chakra there in that kind of sense. So you can see the centre line anyway, can't you? So it's all around here, isn't it? And everything's coming out of what that is. Oh, coconut crabs. Look quite big. And that's quite big, isn't it? So I did consider that that might not be a real dustbin. You know when you get garden bins and they look like dustbins, but they're only like a third at size or whatever. I'm quite impressed with him, but yeah, you can see colours and stuff you see waves and stuff like that kind of thing. And you get these patterns on plants as well, like yucca tree and stuff like that kind of thing as it's growing on its trunk and stuff. Lots of light and gold and blue and lots of ocean and all these kind of things. You see, this shape is very ideal for like the sea turtle. It's got that shape on it for its forearms and stuff. It's also got a shell, so like the relationship between sea turtles and crabs in that kind of way. And then we've got this aspect, like the moth has a face on its back. Sort of crabs. which is quite curious in a sense. At the same time, you see in the patterns of the ocean, it's like the waves that make the cheek, all those kind of things and stuff. But I mean, it's very face-like, so it's kind of difficult to see the, point out the ocean in that kind of way and stuff. But they look like Buddhist gods and demons, which are, the statues of such. Back at the coconut crabs. That Easter Island, I think. So the blue and the sunlight. So you've got the ocean and all these kind of things. The ocean's got the wave, the eye coming out a bit, and all these kind of things. So you can see the blue, and then when the sunlight gets to the water, and that's what's turned it into the chakra. You know what I mean? The energy of the chi which has gone through it and stuff like that kind of thing. So then it can, it's got the functionality of being able to see and all these kind of things. Where the chakra comes from, like the roll of a wave. So crab claws, and now compare that to a goose. You see the goose shape? Its jaw, how it comes out and stuff like that kind of thing on birds and stuff. So you get the same information, how the tooth works, the tooth of the beak, and then the teeth area as well, which you often do get with birds and stuff. Some crabs decorate themselves as well. So he's put that on himself. I think all those little bits as well. Missing the trees, I think. So it's another one. They're all like pink on my screen. It looks like he's got all those like baby octopus things covered in them. It's quite interesting for crabs to do it. It's like, is it like a thing of style or, because they are conscious beings, you know what I mean, and stuff like, and it might be what they do, you know what I mean, in terms of like, it's not exactly camouflage. Maybe some of them are good camouflage and stuff like, but it's got little arms. And the teeth are good for this one as well. And cobwebs. So we were talking about like circles, of a spiral, all that kind of thing. And you see, it seems to be one spiral going around. Like in this first series, we're talking about how all those symbols for like Reiki are entering the fairy realm, and they use this spiral, don't they? And so how the spider kind of mimics our reality in that kind of sense and stuff. Like Kimber found that banana spider, and it had the torus field center part, so you had like the two triangles merging together. I've not included that one in this series, but it is in one of the previous ones. And see the perspective, like a tunnel. it's a bit off, but it also reminds me of waves. Like they're like each individual roll of a wave, and it's crashing around and splashing and stuff like that. Because oh, it is what it is, though. You like the entirety of it. And that is the roll of a wave, isn't it? So that's a little bit different. It's got a bird shape, but we were looking. Oh, not this one. That's more like a torus field shape. Yeah, the centre. And that's more spiral shaped. So like that other zigzaggy one. They might all be spirals rather than zigzags. You see that one? That's a bit like banana spider. Just one half though. So, how convenient. Of all the spider. And research in that kind of sense. So, light perspective in that kind of sense and stuff like that. So, like with the seashell, how it kind of creates those patterns and stuff like kind of thing. Like the roll, and the roll, and the roll. The information gets more and more detailed and intense and stuff like that. And then I found this. The 3D yin yang torus field. I spoke about it in the first series. It's like this bit where I mentioned like the 2D and turning it into 3D, so then you got perspective on that. On this has got perspective, and you can see your chakra shape patterns and stuff like. Here as well. See your Fibonacci sequence, your tunnel in that kind of sense and stuff like. So you can see it there again. And then that'd be a 3D yin yang. So you can see the sun's path or whatever and all these kind of things and stuff like how that kind of works with it in that kind of sense and stuff like. So I don't know. It appeared about 3 weeks ago, and it's on that guy's channel, Nature of Flowers. So it might, I don't know, it might be his in that kind of sense and stuff like. But I've been trying to describe it in a sense of like since that first image, like that one, you know what I mean, and stuff like. It kind of describes it quite well, which is what this is. I often see it like when it's smaller in chat maybe and stuff like that kind of thing. That one. And it looks 3D sometimes, so you can see like with a tunnel going through. Right, so I've got a shot just to finish it off. It's dropping a camera down now, an ice hole, so it's like black at bottom and what we can see and stuff like. And this would be like going through the ocean wave, how the ice formed, how all that kind of thing. It's like how I say, it's like fanciful to say that we'll come through these ocean portals in a way and stuff, but this is almost what it's like the eye colours and the lines and all